Hello, and welcome to another video from Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service here in Central Washington. My name's Todd, and today I'm going to go over transistors that are, I'm going to say, probably in a little bit of short demand, that people usually go online to your typical outlets to find the transistors that you need. And I highly advise against people just jumping on any of those websites online that you can go to buy transistors. I work with distributors directly, so I don't work really with individual sellers. As a business, I do work with one or two companies that I do order select items from. But otherwise, I work just with distributors. And you always got to do your homework when it comes to buying your parts, talking with the distributors. You got to do your homework. So this is a layout of transistors. These are some of the most common transistors that, output transistors, that I use on an almost day-to-day basis here. And just to go down the line, I've got a 24 and 60, 59 and 30, 28 and 50, and of course the old infamous 24 and 40, which is a very, very, very common transistor used in amplifiers. Now, I do this, I actually enjoy finding people and just kind of knowing who's selling what. And sorry about that. And who is, I'm trying to keep up, I guess I should say, with how they are getting away with selling these and what they're doing to try to make these just as authentic as possible. So if you buy transistors and you install them and the transistor's heating up, gets hot, that transistor is probably fake, if not damaged, as long as everything else is working. I mean, you have to have a drive that's functioning properly, of course, but if all is good and you put new transistors in and all those transistors are heating up, or if you have a bank of transistors, a parallel bank, and you got sporadic ones that are heating up, and you bought them online through your online sites like Alibaba, AliExpress, eBay, Amazon. If you bought them through those kind of sources, you may have fake ones. Counterfeit, fake, I mean, there's a couple words you can use for when it comes to transistors. One of the newer things that I've noticed that these overseas sellers are starting to do is they're starting to show pictures of the dies. And I know that they've been, you know, die size has been a thing to check for quite a while. I started checking die size back in 2018, 2019. But I noticed they're starting to use pictures online of showing the die size. Well, here's the thing, is you can be real close in die size. If you had like a real 24N40 and a fake 24N40, the die size may still be relatively close in size. You would never know, really, unless you've seen the die sizes a lot. But one of the biggest giveaways when it comes to transistors and determining fake versus real, or not even fake, but let's just say out of specification, look at the capacitance. The capacitance will vary greatly between counterfeit parts, out of spec parts, and real parts. The data sheet will always tell you where it should be minimum, maximum, and average when it comes to capacitance. So they have been sanding the faces for a long time. That face is sanded. You can clearly see that there is no outline any longer So what they do is they take this transistor, run it over a belt sander or whatever sander they're using, grind off the top, and then they laser etch a new number on that. They've been doing that for quite a while. They will also sand it, and as this one here, as you can see at the glare of the lights, this one's completely flat. You can see where they laser etched the numbers in. And they painted it to make it nice and shiny and pretty, but you can see the sanding marks in it. Now, this transistor, this 59N30, has not been sanded. You can see clearly that the logo section is still there. So this face has never been sanded. But unfortunately for this transistor, it is probably either used, or when it went through QA/QC, then it didn't pass, so they ended up cutting all the legs off. But these legs have been redone. You can clearly see where they have spot welded the new legs on, and then they looks like they hit it with kind of a grinder just to take off any excess solder on that. But those legs have been replaced, and of course there's all sorts of different batch numbers. So it may be a genuine 59N30, but you don't know where it came from, you don't know how it was used, and you don't know, unless you check every single one, specifications could be way off. Hence why they have had cut legs to begin with. And they've all been cut right at the transistor base. So there's that. But otherwise, I don't believe these to be counterfeit. I think they're out of spec, or they're used. These, you can see, are nice and shiny. They tried really hard to differentiate between the logo section and the face of the transistor. They tried really, really hard. But this transistor has been sanded down because these three little dimples that should be on this transistor have been ground flat. That's flat. That's gone. So it's been sanded. So these are some of the items that you just, if you do buy your transistors online, you want to check this beforehand. I should say before installing them. Let me grab an example here. So this is a 24N60 transistor. The 24N60 transistor, this manufacturer's 24N60 comes up as 5.1 nanofarads of capacitance, and it's got a really high gate value, so it won't fully switch us on for this to read it. So, but it still will show me the capacitance, 5.1 nanofarads. Let me see here. Let me find a 24N60 in this group. 24N60. So 5.1 nanofarads. Let's check this. Oh, this one's coming up as a normal transistor, but a capacitance of 2.9 nanofarads. So my first red flag is it shows up as a normal transistor. A real 24N60 will not show up like this on this particular meter. So it goes back to, you also got to know what you're looking at. So this is not a 24N60. I wouldn't use that anywhere. I would use this just as educational purposes, so that everyone knows what to be looking for. There are times where you can find a seller that will sell legitimate parts, and if you find that seller 1 out of 50, keep that seller in your back pocket, because you'll need them again. If you are not familiar with the seller, I'd be real careful about buying transistors from them. But as you can see, a real transistor has a nice, perfect finish. So that's what you're looking for. And of course, buy your parts from distributors. Mauser, DigiKey, Arrow, LCSC overseas. Those are all great go-to places. There are some bigger corporations or companies, I should say, that I work with directly, that I get parts from. But you know, you're talking, you know, a couple $1,000s an order. So every time you order, so those may be a little bit out of range for just the average repair. But otherwise, Mauser DigiKey, I would always stick with the major distributors here in the States, and LCSC overseas is one of my other go-to overseas. So I just wanted to show you guys that lineup. They're still punching these out. They're still, even though we're on the tail end, I do believe, of the issue of lack of parts, they're still punching these things out like there's no tomorrow. These guys make money on this, and they're going to continue to make money on this. So, if you have any questions, leave them down below. And this isn't an amplifier, otherwise I'd say keep your fingers out of the rails, but there's no rails here. So, if you have any questions, I'm here for you. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.